Good afternoon, Freedom Chapel. This is the first live e-blast that we're going to be doing with the sermon summary. So I wanted to touch base with you about what I preached about this last Sunday. We're starting a new series called This Old House, which is a journey through 1 Corinthians. We touched base on the brief history of 1 Corinthians, which Corinthians was a church started by Paul in the city of Corinth. 1 Corinthians was actually the second letter that Paul had written to this church. And the reason why he wrote this letter was because a family, Chloe's people, as it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, had sought Paul out in Ephesus to ask him some questions about some issues they were having in the church. So Paul is basically addressing those problems as he goes through 1 Corinthians and writes this letter. So this Sunday, we started the journey with a message called Division in the Foundation. It was about how there was some division going on in the church of Corinth. We read from chapter 1, verses 1 through 17, and you can read that for yourself. But in it, Paul basically addresses the fact that the church of Corinth began to section themselves off into different groups. One group was a group that followed Paul. Another group was a group that followed Apollos. And they were all centered around a personality of a person that had come to preach Jesus instead of being centered around Jesus. So basically what they had done was begin to divide themselves off based on personality, and that not being the personality of Jesus. So the basic gist of the entire message was that we need to be followers of Jesus, not followers of man. So we don't need to be going out and looking for a certain person and following their theology. We need to be following the theology that Jesus stewarded while he was on this earth. And that us pastors that are out there preaching the gospel are basically only here to point you towards Jesus. And when your foundation is built on Jesus Christ, it's a foundation that will stand. It's a house that will stand, and your entire life will be a much better life because of the fact that you are actually following Jesus and not man. So that's a synopsis of this week. You can check out the full sermon on our Facebook page. So I recommend you do that. It was a great day in both worship and in message. So check it out. Love you guys. Have a blessed day.